A strike at the future. Russia's attack on Ukraine's airfield. In the early morning shadows, Russia launched a strike meant to cripple Ukraine's future. Advanced Kinzhal missiles, known as Kh-47, soared towards the Kolomyia airfield in the Ivano-Frankivsk region of western Ukraine. The target, young pilots set to undergo training on US-made F-16 fighter jets. Air Force spokesperson Yuri Ignat's voice resonated with anger and resolve as he told Ukrainian television about the attack. Out of the 4 missiles, 1 was shot down, but the other 3 found their mark near the airfield. Our youth was targeted, Ignat said, his words laden with the gravity of what was at stake. They wanted to hit our youngsters, depriving us of the prospect for our further re-equipment with the latest Western technologies. But Ignat's voice also carried a note of defiance. Russia's attempt to undercut Ukraine's future had not fully succeeded. The attack was a grim reminder of the conflict's evolving nature, where no target was off-limits, not even the promise of tomorrow. The scars of war. Latest developments from Ukraine's battlefront. A new day in Ukraine, yet the shadows of war lingered everywhere. Russian shelling had increased across the nation, leaving trails of destruction and despair. In Kyiv's Obolonsky district, fragments of a missile fell on a children's hospital, the innocence of youth caught in a battle they never asked for. An 8-year-old child lost their life in the Ivano-Frankivsk region, a tragedy that resonated deep in the heart of the nation. Shelling in the Kharkiv and Zaporozhye regions claimed 2 more lives, adding to the toll that seemed to grow with each passing moment. Mandatory evacuations were ordered in and around Kupiansk, a painful reminder of the dangers lurking close. Denise Brown, the UN-humanitarian coordinator for Ukraine, expressed her outrage at Russia's attack on a hotel used by UNSTAF and other humanitarian organizations in Zaporizhzhia. Her words captured the collective shock and horror at the disregard for human life. In the midst of this chaos, glimpses of resilience emerged. Ukrainian troops made marginal gains near Robotyne, where intense fighting had raged for weeks. And in Moscow, another drone was eliminated, a sign of a persistent resistance that continued to challenge Russia. The war's landscape was ever-shifting, marked by horrors and heroism, despair and determination. Ukraine's battlefront was not merely a clash of armies, but a struggle for identity, freedom, and the very soul of a nation. A stand against corruption. Zelensky's bold decision. President Volodymyr Zelensky stood before his country, his face etched with resolve. The fight was not just against an external enemy, but also against an insidious internal foe: corruption. All officials in charge of regional military recruitment centres were dismissed. The words were clear, the implications far-reaching. Widespread corruption had eaten into the very system meant to defend the nation, and Zelensky was taking a stand. There are 112 criminal proceedings against officials, he announced, citing illicit enrichment, unlawful benefit, and illegal transportation of people liable for military service. Zelensky's decision was not just administrative but deeply personal. He called for the system to be managed by those who knew the war's cost, those who had lost limbs but saved their dignity. Every military commissioner against whom there is a criminal investigation will be held accountable, he asserted. The president's message was clear: profit would not be confused with patriotism, and those guilty of treason would face justice. In a time of war, Zelensky's stand was a rallying cry for integrity, a beacon for a nation fighting not just for its land but for its honour, its principles, and its very soul.